A month ago, I asked ChatGPT to list the biggest problems in the world. It gave me 10: climate change, food insecurity, economic inequality, and at number 10, loss of meaning and connection.
It struck me. How did we get here? Loss of meaning, loss of connection. So I asked, what does that even mean?
First, the loss of meaning. It said people are struggling to find a sense of purpose, direction, or fulfillment. That life starts to feel like a routine, just movement without depth, days lived, not felt. That many are losing touch with their values, their dreams, with what truly matters.
But how is that even possible? We live in a world overflowing with information. We have books, films, podcasters, access to the most brilliant minds. Everything is right there. Yet something inside us still feels hollow.
Then the loss of connection. It meant that many people feel lonely, emotionally isolated, less time with family, less time in community, a lack of empathy, a lack of deep conversation.
But why? What about social media platforms? We live in a world where making connections is easier than ever before. A tap, a click, a message. Technology has made us capable of connecting with people. Or did it make us incapable of truly connecting? Could it also be responsible for the loss of meaning? The moment you start asking this question to yourself, you realize that your psychology has been completely hijacked. What does psychology mean and what's its purpose? Psychology is the scientific study of the mind and behavior. It explores how people think, feel, act, and interact both individually and in groups. Purpose of psychology: to understand behavior, why people do what they do, to explain mental processes, to predict future behavior, to improve lives, to apply knowledge.
Psychology was born from a profound desire to understand the human mind, to heal what hurts, to nurture resilience, to help each individual unlock their fullest potential. At its heart, psychology was a tool for liberation, a mirror for self awareness, a bridge to inner peace, a guide for thriving, not just surviving.
But somewhere along the way, this sacred knowledge was hijacked. Not for healing, not for awakening, but for profit, control, and influence.
We are being fooled by products we don't need, by content we didn't ask for, and by systems we barely understand.
कंपनीज जानबूझकर ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स बनाती हैं जो कुछ समय तक ही चले और फिर खराब हो जाए इवन दो उनके पास टेक्नोलॉजी है बेहतर प्रोडक्ट्स को बनाने की।
There are corporations, media machines, and outdated institutions all trying to shape our thoughts.
But in this film, I want to focus on one force in particular, the most invisible yet the most powerful: the tech companies, or I would say social media companies, and how they hijack our attention.
When you use a free app or platform like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube, you are not paying with money, but you are still part of a business model. So, how do these companies make money? They sell your data, attention, and behavior to advertisers. Every like, click, scroll, and pause is tracked to create a psychological profile. That profile is then used to target you with ads or even influence your decisions. Your time, choices, and attention are what's being monetized.
For example, you scroll Instagram for 1 hour. Instagram shows you 30 ads during that time. Advertisers pay Instagram to show you those ads. So while you didn't pay Instagram, someone else paid to access you.
Social media platforms aren't just showing you ads or content, they are shaping you little by little, not overnight, not in one dramatic shift, but in tiny, barely noticeable ways over days, weeks, and years. It learns what keeps you hooked, then it tweaks what you see to keep you there longer, and slowly it begins to shift how you think about beauty, politics, success, truth, even yourself. You don't notice it happening until one day your worldview feels different and you can't tell where you end and the algorithm begins.
So, what's really being sold? Not just your data, not just your attention, but your future thoughts, decisions, and behaviors. That's what advertisers are paying for, the ability to shape what you believe, buy, and become.
Why do I use social media? Before becoming a creator, I was a consumer too, scrolling endlessly, posting for likes, comments, validation. Like many of us, I craved that little hit of approval.
But something changed. As I grew older, as I dove deeper into ethics, philosophy, psychology, human behavior, and now design principles too, I began to see social media through a different lens. Now I use it differently. I observe what are people posting, why are they posting it, what kind of music do they use on their reels, what trends catch fire, why the sudden obsession with iPhones, or those AI generated Ghibli images. Is it just for fun or is it the FOMO driving their choices? Social media became my lab to understand the psychology of people who use these platforms, especially Instagram. And keep in mind, if you ever see me endorsing products or services in the future, it won't be to hijack your psychology. It will be to serve you with intention, with value. So, next time you open an app, ask yourself, are you using it or is it using you?
Our brains were designed for survival in forests and tribes, not to process millions of notifications or endless feeds. We still get addicted easily, crave validation, struggle with the tension, react emotionally, get overwhelmed by too much input. So while technology races forward, we are still using the same old mental wiring. When something grows so fast, like AI, social media, or algorithms, and we humans don't evolve at the same pace, that's when we lose control over the tools we built, get manipulated more easily, struggle to make wise decisions. It's like handing a smartphone to a toddler, powerful but risky when the user isn't ready.
Social media, notifications, too much content, noisy environments. Yes, these are distractions, but they're external. Even if the world is completely silent, we still distract ourselves.
Let's say you are locked in an empty room. What would you do? You will try to distract yourself. How? By random thoughts, daydreaming, cravings, urges to check something real quick, self doubt, sudden emotional swings, replaying past conversations, or worrying about the future. We want to be distracted. We seek ways to escape the present.
But why do we distract ourselves? Why do we escape the present moment? Because the present moment is uncomfortable. It makes us confront our thoughts, fears, boredom, and inner emptiness. So we run. We have trained ourselves to escape constant multitasking, years of digital conditioning. We have trained our brains to expect the stimulation every few seconds. Stillness feels foreign now.
So, what is the solution? How do we find meaning in our lives? By slowing down enough to listen to our values, our fears, our pain, our curiosity. Not everything meaningful comes with a notification. How do we connect deeply with others? By being fully present, putting the phone down, looking into someone's eyes, and truly hearing them. Presence is the most precious gift we can give. How do we use social media without letting it use us? By setting intentions, not just habits, follow creators who uplift you. Share things that add value. Don't scroll to escape, scroll to learn, to connect, to create. How do we stop distracting ourselves? By learning to sit in silence without fear, by treating boredom as a doorway, not a problem, by noticing when we are running and gently choosing to stay. And how do we learn to face the present moment? By going for a walk without headphones and simply noticing the world around us, by eating a meal without a screen and actually tasting every bite, by writing down what we are feeling instead of running from it.
And remember, technology and social media didn't make us distractible. They just gave our distractible minds more toys to play with. Your disconnection from the now, that's where it all begins. The real work is learning to stay with yourself.